and welcome to a special edition of Classroom Without Walls. I'm actually chatting with some of my dear friends and students at my own program, and we are going to discuss how to cultivate human connections during this global pandemic. And we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope. So let me know where you guys are joining us live from, social media wise and geographically speaking. We have a few questions prepared, and by the end of this show, we are going to have a deeper discussion regarding pandemic and how we are dealing with this global pandemic and what are some important changes that we made, and how do we stay motivated, connected, and so many more good questions. So really excited. We already have quite a few people join us live right now. Really excited. So I'm going to open the floor and let each of them do a quick introduction. So you can see their names on the screen. And so who wants to start first? Do a quick self-introduction, say your name, and yeah. Jun, why don't you start first, my friend?
Hi, I'm June Bea, and I am CEO of Bea Groups. I'm so excited to be here. I'm a student of EYES, and yeah, this is great.
Awesome. And so excited to have this conversation, everyone. And so you are right under me, Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel Roy. I'm a student of EYES, and I love all things creative, and I'm really excited to be on this live.
Awesome. Dennis.
My name is Dennis. I'm also a student of Dr. EYES, and I'm a young entrepreneur here over in Ireland, and I'm excited to be on this live.
Awesome. I'm really excited. And again, I want to welcome everyone joining us live to join this conversation. And we are discussing this very unfortunate and interesting COVID and how we are dealing with this and coping with this. What are some changes that we are making? And so speaking of which, and let's start our first question. And so I want to know, everyone in the live audience and everyone on our panel, we are all co-hosts. And so how are you guys dealing with the pandemic?
It's pretty tough. It at the very beginning, it was definitely tough to get used to what, everything that had been happening due to, what has happened in the pandemic. And shops closing, and you not being able to do what you would regularly be able to do. They've kind of restricted a lot of things that you could originally do, and I think that was tough on a lot of people. So
totally, I hear you. Yeah, anyone else wants to share?
I think it was definitely a big adjustment because for me personally, I was in college at USC, and then having to get pulled and go back home and then switch over to online classes, and then being at home with my sisters. It was definitely like a lifestyle change for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same. Yeah, especially someone like me. I'm a very social person. It's really hard. Yeah. You want to add something, June?
Yes, so I'm an extrovert. And it's been really hard to be home and not be able to see people in person. A benefit is that I've been working from home for 20 years. So transitioning to watching other people transition to working from home has been interesting to watch. Definitely more Zoom sessions than I have ever done my whole life. And so that's been an interesting coping. So all in all, I feel grateful that, that my family and I have been able to cope pretty well. I live with a bunch of extroverts. I live with a bunch of introverts, so they're happy to be home. I love it.
It's so interesting. You mentioned this. I have lots of friends who are in social media, and almost all of my friends, and they are introverts. I think I'm the only one who is extroverted. So they are all celebrating this moment being from home. I love it. Yeah. And so feel free, you guys, if you have any questions you want to ask, feel free to ask questions. And we kind of discussed some of the things mentioned, and so how are you coping with some of the challenges that you mentioned? Like today we're talking about cultivate human connections, and I'm curious to hear from you and anyone in the live audience. How do you stay connected in this disconnecting, social distancing environment?
I guess I'll go. It's interesting because I think as human beings, we're all meant to connect with each other, and I'm a very extroverted person as well, like June. So having to stay home and away from my friends, I've definitely relied more on like FaceTime and text, and it's actually made me make more effort into some of my friendships and some of my relationships that I sort of like took for granted, just like seeing them in the hall or stuff like that. So it's made me put more time into friendships, which I think I'll keep continuing. And also a way that I've been overcoming it is sort of just because I love to write. So kind of writing every day has kind of helped me keep a routine throughout the pandemic.
I love that. I love that.
I feel like a way to connect has been to send gifts, because just receiving, like Dr. I sent us a package when we started this course, and that was so unexpected, and what a gift. And so I find myself just sending more cards. I find myself doing more of those ways to connect in just surprising random acts of kindness. So
I love that.
Yeah, for me, it was probably like to connect with a few of my friends. Again, I'm a big Instagram fan, and I love fitness. So the way for me to connect to my audience or my friends on Instagram was, of course, by doing fitness videos for them and being able to teach them that it is important to keep your body healthy during these times, and you want to walk out fitter than you were before. So I think that was it was easy and it was fun as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I see you do all those like fitness videos, and yeah. Speaking of which, I'm curious, what are some like lifestyle like changes that you made, and that you think even after this pandemic is over, that you will continue to do? Like I can start with myself. For me, is like after the pandemic, I noticed that there are days I'm literally just in front of my computer for hours. I don't even move around. So now I start to every day with a daily walk. And that is something that I will definitely keep going, keep doing even after this pandemic is over. So I'm curious to hear from you guys.
I would say for me, I've gotten closer to like my grandmother, who I get to see on holidays or birthdays. But during the pandemic, me and my siblings have been trying to bring her dinners more since she can't really leave her house. So we've just been doing little things that we can participate in her life more. And I've actually seen her more in this pandemic time than I have spent time with her in a long time. So I think after this pandemic, I'm going to continue to bring dinners to her and just try and make more of an effort in her life.
Oh, that is so sweet. That is so sweet. Actually, I can kind of resonate with you, Rachel, because now we're spending a lot of time with me and my husband and our two children. We definitely felt like closer, getting to spend more time together. Yeah, I love that. That is so sweet.
I'm definitely reading books more. So because like you, I've been in front of the computer so much that after working, after so many hours in front of the computer, all I want to do is close the computer. I don't even want to watch television. So I've been reading more, and I realized I hadn't been reading. I'd been listening to audiobooks and hadn't really been reading physical books. So I feel like after this, I'll embrace my books more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it was, at the very beginning, before the whole pandemic had happened, I was very bad at the beginning of going to the gym every day. I'd set a goal to go to the gym every day, and I broke that goal, which was great. But when the pandemic had happened, it was a big switch from the gym, which I go 4 hours every day, and then the sauna straight after, to now just my house. And I had to like go and buy equipment, and they were selling out everywhere. But I would say that every single day I've been working out. I haven't missed a single day since this started because I believe that I have a goal, and the goal is to get insanely fit by the end of this. So, it's helped a lot, and especially with reading, so reading was just amazing. Once you work out and you keep a healthy mind, you eat healthy, it improves your mind and you want to read more. So yeah, it's definitely helped.
You are so motivated, Dennis. I like you inspire me. Like I wish I were as motivated when it comes to fitness as you. So I love that.
Yeah. It's tough. It is tough. Like I'm not special or anything like that. I just was able. It's very tough to gain that kind of, you have dark days even at the gym and stuff like that. But it's not easy for sure.
Yeah, I love that. How about you, Rachel? You are really into like writing, creativity, creative writing. So how do you keep yourself going? Now we don't have the social support. We don't have professors pushing you. You don't have friends who meet up daily. So how do you keep yourself?
I think it's definitely been interesting because being at school as a writing major, I have a lot more structure at school with professors and with classes. So it's actually been kind of nice during this period to have no structure really and just be with myself. And it's the first time I get to slow down. And I think I've found that there's value in slowing down and not going to classes all the time and having as much of the busy work and everything. And that's when the creativity really comes for me, is when I can just sit down and slow down and be able to have all these different creative ideas without them being sort of not shut down by a professor, but more structured by a professor. And I get to really see the full extent of my creative writing. So that's been really a gift during this pandemic.
I love that, music to my ears, because I'm the type of person who is against the structure. I think one problem in education is that we have way, way, way too many structures, right? So I love seeing how you are utilizing the autonomy you have now to, be more in control of your life. I love that.
Yeah, I actually feel like it's, I had a new screenplay idea that came out in my head during this pandemic. And I feel like I wouldn't have gotten that idea had I still been at school, because I had the time to really slow down and to really think through all my ideas and just have time with myself.
Oh, wow. The power of slowing down. Who can relate? I can definitely relate. I reinvented my career when I was on my sabbatical. I took a year off from my normal routine of teaching. Then I had all those like crazy ideas. What if this? What if that? And to start asking myself those what if questions. So I love that. Thanks for sharing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. You want to add anything, Jen? And I feel like I'm talking too much. You guys ask some questions. Yes.
I don't really have anything to add to this question, but I can ask a question.
Oh, by the way, you can relax for a second. So we have this question from Alice. Thank you so much for joining us live. So she's interested in learning more about what books you guys are reading.
Well, thanks to your recommendation, this is one I've got.
I love it. Yeah.
I'm also reading The Hunger Games.
I love The Hunger Games.
We're also reading that with my own children. Yeah.
My book taste and sort of what I've gotten into during this pandemic with it's a podcast called My Favorite Murder. So it's a very specific taste, but they wrote a book called Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered. And it's just about their life and tips about it's really interesting. And it's one of the writers, she wrote for Ellen. And so she's super funny. So it's like a comedic take on life. And I really enjoy it.
I'm so excited. And Rachel, you are going to start your own podcast very soon, right?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited. I can't wait. And so here's someone you need to connect with, Ryan. Thank you for joining us live. And he's interested in learning more about the screenplay that you are talking about. So definitely connect after the show. Yeah.
Oh, I would love that. Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Dennis?
Let me just look up on my library. No, I don't have a library. Okay. All right. I don't know. Most famous author, Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Great book. If you're interested in, basically moving out of, if your education isn't really your taste, this guy basically goes on about, the 9-to-5 job and that there's nothing wrong with it at all, but that you shouldn't work for your time. Instead, you should be working for the fun, or and if you get paid by the time, you're not going to really learn really anything. You should be getting paid by your improvement in the job instead of the time. So, well, it's just a really good book recommendation, and it's all featured around just jobs, I guess. I don't know.
It's a great book. I love that book. And also, I know I'm sharing my personal experience. And when I had my 9 to 5 job, I can't say I hate it, but I didn't enjoy it as much as what I'm doing now. Like when I used to listen to podcasts, people say, I love Monday. I was like, liar, liar, everybody liar. How can you love Monday? But now I could genuinely say that I love Monday, I love Friday, I love weekend, I love every single day in my life. So like everyone can do this, once you know what you love. And then, even each of you, when you're talking about something you are passionate about, I see the spark in your eyes. So really interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, here is a comment. Yeah. So thank you for sharing the books. Now that you have had this experience, what would you recommend educators and parents keep? What would you change about school, time, and life? Oh my God, I love this question. Thanks for asking, Alice.
I would definitely, so I'm actually running an internship program right now that's for 181 high school seniors, and they are doing a work experience where they're working from home and getting different experiences, and what we're doing is co-designing it with them. So I would say definitely out of this experience is what I've learned is, and I'm a researcher by training and then became an entrepreneur, decided that it would be cool to apply the research and see what happens. And so with the interns that we have right now, we're co-designing their work experience. And what I would take away from this is to keep listening to young people, because and then to create experiences where they can really lead and own their own education, which is why I hang out with Dr. I, because we have similar beliefs about this. And so to actually be able to do it this summer is a gift.
I love that. I love how you mentioned, keep listening. I think that is something we all need to do, be a good listener. Yeah. So like Dennis and Rachel, do you want to share this, your perspective on this question?
Yeah.
Students.
I would say specifically at some of my personal experiences at USC has been, it can get a little competitive sometimes and a little like individualistic. And during this pandemic, I've sort of seen how my relationships have grown closer with people, and I've learned to collaborate more with people. So I would hope that after the pandemic, there would be more collaboration with my classmates and more meaningful connections with my classmates. Like I wish we had periods where we could just get to know each other and get to know each other's styles, that maybe we could do more collaboration on writing or in any area that we're doing it in, because I think there's so much value in collaboration and connection. And I really hope they implement that more in my school.
Oh, I love that. You want to add anything, Dennis, or no?
No, unfortunately not. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. I love it. Isn't it interesting that we learned the importance of collaboration through this like social distancing experience? Yeah, I so agree. It reminds me of one of my favorite TED Talks. Traditionally, in school, like students take exams, and every exam is like one. This is my score. You don't look at each other, and then you call that cheating. But in real life, we call that collaboration. And so I just like, right? Isn't that interesting? I think we need to do more of those like collaborative learning things. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I agree. They are amazing, right? I agree. Great answers. Great answers. Yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, I was really talking too much. Hey, Tachi, and we are talking about and how to cultivate human connections during this COVID. And here are some of my dear friends and students, and we're just having a free flow of conversation. Feel free to share with us how you are coping with this like a global pandemic, some good changes, and for the struggles, how you are overcoming the struggles. And anyone of you would love to ask a question? Let me
Um,
this.
what about how are you feeling about going back to the normal life that we had before?
I love that. That's a great question. And I can start. Like for me, it really, like, to be honest with you all, my life hasn't really changed that much. Like June, I have been working from home. I'm like location independent. I can work anywhere. And but I do miss human interactions so much. And I didn't realize how much I depend on human interactions until now. So I think next time when I go to a conference, and I will really appreciate every single hug when I can actually hug this person and have a conversation, don't have to wear masks. So I think I will appreciate that a lot more. But work-wise, and I really learned how important it is to stay future ready. You know, I didn't know online education is going to be this popular, but thank God I have been learning about this, doing about this, and so that has definitely helped me. But yeah, how about others? I'm curious to hear from each of you and the live audience if you want to answer this question as well.
I guess a simple answer is I'm excited to see my friends and the people that I love in person more and every day. And I guess we sort of take that for granted that we get to see each other in person all the time. And I don't think we'll be taking that for granted as much when we go back to normal.
How about classes? Are classes like going back to normal? Like, you know, I saw that some of my friends, they are like actually sending like a waivers, like, you know, even if you catch like COVID and we're not responsible. And some of them are having classes outside, like arranging chairs and tables outside. I was like, wow, that's so interesting. So how about classes? Are you guys share with us like back to normal inside the school or any innovative disruptions they're making?
I'm not fully sure what my school is going to do. I know some people have all online classes. For me, I have some in-person, some online classes. So I'm really curious to see how the online classes will be working in the fall and how many of my classes will be online. So it's a lot of unknown, uncertainty stuff right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for me, it's well, what I heard from a friend is that we're going back to school for sure. We don't know if there's going to be any online classes, of course. But all we know is that we will be going on weekends, going into school on weekends as well. So yeah, weekends, yeah. To catch up for the 6 years, to catch up on all the work that they've missed
That
in
is so
this year stuff.
interesting. I'm still trying to get this concept. You only go to school to learn. In my book, you don't have to go to school to learn. And there are so many ways to learn. And I love this comment from Alice. She said that, you know, she doesn't want to go back to the normal and she's actually more productive. Amen. Right? I think we can all, I definitely feel this. A lot more positive change will come from this really interesting perspective. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually hoping it's not going back. I hope that we go forward with the changes because I know just watching my kids, when they're doing distance learning and they're doing projects, they're engaged and they're having fun and they're learning. So I would hope that we could take more of that moving forward and how to integrate more of using technology so that it becomes where you can learn and have fun and maybe do more classes outside. I think what a great idea. We don't spend enough time outside. So
I agree. And then you can keep that social. You know, I don't remember which country. So students are going back to school, and each of the kid, they are actually wearing like hat with big ears, so they do social distancing that way. I was like, wow, what a creative idea! So each of them has those like big ears. You know, I think when there is limitation, we learn to be more innovative.
Yeah, I totally agree. I learned so much better with less structure. And I hope we also implement more life experience because I think you learn more by doing and by actually being in the real world with experiencing and failure. And I don't think that's praised enough in school because it's so structure driven where you can't really fail because you have to get a good grade. So you're afraid to try risk because you don't want to fail in the risk and get a bad grade. So I wonder if we took that pressure off, and gave less structure, and we accepted failure, if there would be more innovation.
Oh my God, I love that. This statement should be on a t-shirt. I will be the first person to purchase. I love it. I can't agree more with you. So true. Yeah. You want to add anything, Dennis? Or you're good?
I'm good.
Okay. And I think there's a question from Pam. Thank you for joining us live. So she asked, how are you relating to your neighborhood or community differently right now?
That's my mom. Hi, Mom.
So who else to answer that?
Well, in a way, it's for my community and the neighborhood that I live in. It's like really nothing has changed. Even when they gave out the restrictions, we were doing, the 2 meter distance, and when I was cutting my neighbor's lawn, we would always stay 2 meters apart. So that rule did stick with a lot of the people on the street. But around the neighborhood, there would always still be quite big gangs, and people kind of close together and stuff, because they wouldn't really care about the restrictions that have been put in place. But it's definitely brought the neighborhood together more, I think. And we kind of worked as a team. Some days I would go to my neighbor and ask, did they need their shopping, to be collected or anything like that, to help out with anyone elderly on the street. So that kind of, it helped a lot with everyone who was there. So I don't know how to say anymore.
Well, that's a great point. I love it totally. In challenges, that how we unite as a group. We don't only see races, skin color, but we are together to help each other. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think we're seeing it more as like a cycle in my community, where someone helps someone else and they in turn help someone else. Like the Nextdoor app has been really cool, because it's an app where if an elderly person needs their shopping done, someone else in the community can respond and pick up their shopping for them. I know my mom did that, and it's really helpful. So it's kind of apps like that keep more of a cycle going, rather than just, I'm good, so I'm just going to help myself and stop there, but rather turn around and helping the next person.
Yeah, I love that. And those are really some, a classic Chinese phrase is crisis. So in Chinese language, people actually use crisis and opportunity combined to describe crisis. So in every crisis, there is also an opportunity for positive change. So I love what everyone mentioned. So we are kind of wrapping up soon. So here's a question from Patti, who is an amazing educator herself. So what have you done to level up or improve yourself during the quarantine? I love this.
I've definitely tried a lot of new things. It's good to kind of diversify your skill set. And what I did was, again, I learned how to focus on reading. Like before the quarantine, I never actually decided, I never liked reading or anything like that, but I decided one day I'm going to sit down, I'm actually going to read the first page of a book, and that was the best feeling of my life, and then as the days went along, I decided to try a bunch of different things with, e-commerce, or even, drawing or sketching or something new to keep my mind going and to not become bored in any way, shape, or form. So that's definitely helped. So.
Lifelong learner. I love it.
I think for me, I've been trying to look outside myself more. I feel like since I'm in college right now, and it can get a little self-focused with what are my classes, my major, like everything I need to do. And so with this pandemic, I've been trying to look outside myself and see how the community can be helped, or what's outside of myself, literally in nature. I've been trying to enjoy that more and be a little less focused on what I'm doing.
Yeah, that's such an interesting and great point, right? It is so interesting sometimes when we take a break from our life and we actually broaden our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes because we focus so much on me all the time, my score, my performance, me this, me that, and we're giving ourselves so much stress. And now finally we can kind of remove ourselves a little bit and look at the bigger picture. So I love that. And so here's a question, actually not from me, from Dan, and he asked, have you made any changes in career choice or other significant career-related alterations based on this COVID? Oh, I love this question. As you're thinking, I can share. Like I have never thought, as I mentioned earlier, online education is so popular. I'm so happy I'm on this path, and this COVID kind of validated my career choice. I'm like, yes, I'm onto this. So that's kind of for me. But I'm curious to hear everyone's perspective answer to this. Wow, this is a tough question.
I feel like
Oh, you can go.
Okay. I don't know if it would be a career change, but maybe a career strengthening, where I've talked about it before, how I love creative writing and screenwriting, and that's sort of been strengthened through this period where I've actually had time to dive more into my passion, where it's just me figuring out what my style is. And I think that's really been a gift. So I think I've had a career choice strengthened through this.
I love that.
Yes. I would agree. I feel like this is such an amazing opportunity because I've been in education reform. I've been a researcher, like I mentioned, and now it's this opportunity to really change the situation for students, with students. And so for me, just being able to work with 180 interns right now is definitely changing my perspective about what's possible. And I'm super excited to see what we could do together. And so I'm week 2 of this 6-week internship with them. I'm meeting with them one-on-one, and every day I'm learning from them. So for me, in terms of career change, it's really like what Rachel said, it's strengthened what I'm passionate about. I feel so fortunate to be able to do what I'm doing right now. And I'm excited to learn and be in this space to learn with Dennis and Rachel. I haven't been back in a class, quote unquote, for decades. And so I'm excited to be part of this community. I'm excited to do my first live stream. So thank you.
Yeah, we're doing this right now. Incredible. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Dennis, do you add anything?
Well, for me, before this happened, I was working in a hotel as a porter. And I really did enjoy that job. And it was I would say I got better at it, the more I showed up. But for career changing, for now, I will probably stick with the hotel and being a porter. But I'm also going to make sure I take every single opportunity that I can get. Anyone, who tells me there's a new opportunity opening up that I don't know how to do, I will go and do it anyway. So I think it's important to take opportunities when you receive them, especially when this is over and everything gets back to normal. So.
That's awesome. So yeah, so we are just going to, hello everyone. Yeah, we have more people coming. So we want to kind of wrap this up. What a great conversation. But I want to respect everyone's time. So make sure, yes. So congratulations, Ryan, pivoting, starting your business full time. I'm really happy for you. And so why don't you, each of you, share with us, where can people learn more about you? I know Rachel, someone wants to connect with you regarding screenwriting. And here my friend Alice wants to connect with June. And so share with us, So share with us, where can people learn more about you, your social media handle, so they can keep in touch, stay humanly connected.
So I have a company website. It's Bea Group. So it's my last name. So it's beagroup.com. And then LinkedIn, please find me on LinkedIn because that's a great way for us to stay connected. I'm most active there. So that'd be great. I'd love to connect with you.
Yeah, link is on the screen. Yeah. So who wants to go next?
I just got a LinkedIn, which is very exciting. So there's a LinkedIn. Yes, connect me on LinkedIn, and I have been working on that. It's a pretty cool page, so check it out.
Yeah, amazing banner. I love it. Much better. I actually wanted to have Rachel helped me redesign my own LinkedIn banner. She's a lot more creative than me. So that's Rachel's LinkedIn handle. So feel free to reach out to her. And Dennis, last but not least.
I again also have a LinkedIn account, and it's in the progress, so I'm working on it right now. And I also have an Instagram account. You can follow me on DocWork Central, and you'll see it says also Entrepreneur Central, but it will be worked on. So yeah.
Awesome. Again, link on the screen. This is incredible. Given that this is your very first, for a few of you, very first live streaming. So share with us just a few words. How do you feel about this?
I love live streaming. It's
oh my God. As if I paid you to say that, right?
Yeah, I pays me a lot of money to say that. Yeah. It's really fun. I love being in this class, and it's fun it's really interactive. That's the best thing about it. Yeah.
That's awesome. We literally have people from different countries and joining us live right now. Incredible, right? Yeah.
Yes.
So, June, how about for you? How do you like this so far?
Gosh. Well, you're such an inspiration to me. I feel like when you show us how to do this and you make it so accessible, I'm so grateful. And so now I feel inspired like Rachel that I want to do this too.
That's awesome. See how we inspire each other, and you all inspire me. So I love it. Yeah. Yeah, great. And Dennis, I knew you came to my show before, so this is probably your second time. So how do you feel about it?
I'll be honest, I'm still feeling very nervous, even though it's near the end. You know, I still have tummy bugs. Like I'm someone who does get very nervous. And like my speech isn't too good. But I did enjoy it, and I definitely do it again for sure.
And I love that, you know, like even for me, every time before, I have been doing this for 3 years. Every time before I go live, I pump myself. Hey, you could do this. It's called power gesture. I actually use my body to, you know, motivate myself. I mean, it is not something that we do all the time, but the thing is that now you can recognize that, oh my God, I'm outside my comfort zone. Remember, that's your step. Comfort zone, fear zone, learning zone, and then you master this, you experience growth. So I'm really excited to be on this journey with you, and thank you so much. Any parting piece of advice regarding stay humanly connected and during COVID and beyond? So just like one word or two, share with us, and then we'll wrap it up.
I think if anything, it's just that we need human connection, and we need each other. We need each other to get through a lot of things. So just to keep helping each other and create more of a cycle.
I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely get out more, you know, get out more, and again, communicate with like your friends now, since a few of the restrictions have been lifted. Because again, it will get you through a lot of bad times, and you know, it's always good to have friends around you and family that will get you through the tough times. So
awesome. I love it. Yeah.
I feel it's important to have gratitude for what we do have, and so I've been practicing more daily gratitude and just being aware of what I have, and definitely more kindness, because in the world right now, we definitely need more kindness.
I love it. Are you using the affirmation journal or like a memory book I give you?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah. Awesome. And thank you so much. A few of you missed today, so definitely catch up on the replay. All of them, I'm not sure about myself, but all of them shared amazing insights regarding cultivating human connections during COVID. So connect with them, and thank you so much for joining us live again. So before I say goodbye, I want to do a quick self-promotion. So, I'm all about promotion, right? So actually tomorrow I have another live streaming show coming up. So my friend Elaine, I don't know if I should call her my friend. So Elaine, she is a senior contributor to Forbes. And so she is, her specialty is talking about the trend of $1 million one-person business. You know, going back to education, many students, you are still learning, you know, I need to find that one job. but that one job is disappearing, and we are embracing today's gig economy, and this is the new trend. So join me live tomorrow on LinkedIn and different channels and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's kind of my self-promotion. And thank you so much again, everyone. A big hug. Thank you so much for joining us live, everyone in the live audience. I appreciate you guys. I hope to see you tomorrow, Wednesday, during my live streaming show. If not, stay happy, stay humanly connected, stay positive, and much appreciated. And bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Don't go yet.